Hi, I'm Chip Hale. You're watching Mets Weekly.
Coming up on an all-star edition of Mets Weekly presented by FlatRate Moving, we'll hear from the Mets that are heading to Anaheim for the Midsummer Classic.
If you would have told me as a kid that I'd have a chance to play in 4 All-Star games, I would have signed on the dotted line.
We go one-on-one with knuckleballer R.A. Dickey.
If you can do it here, you can do it anywhere, so the song says, you know.
Plus, the Mets welcome Bobby Parnell back to the big leagues.
You know, it's always better to be in the big leagues. So it's good to be here, and I'm glad they made a decision to bring me up.
And Ike Davis gets a baseball card lesson from some very young Met fans.
So what would happen if you beat him? You gonna take his card?
By fans for fans, it's Mets Weekly. Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Mets Weekly presented by FlatRate Moving. I'm your host, Julie Alexandria. When R.A. Dickey originally signed with the Mets during the offseason, nobody really knew where on the roster he would fit. The 35-year-old knuckleballer started out the season on AAA, and when the Mets called him up to the bigs, he impressed right away. The former Olympian won his first 6 decisions. So today we go one-on-one with R.A. Dickey.
Dickey with a dive makes the catch. Oh, that's a beautiful beginning for Mr. Dickey.
Dickey's knuckleball dancing.
To him a fastball, and he struck him out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 8 strikeouts for R.A. Dickey, a new career high.
I'm here with the knuckleball king himself. It's R.A. Dickey. Thanks so much for joining us here on Mets Weekly.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, you've played for a number of organizations, so what is different or special, and what do you like about playing on the Mets?
I mean, obviously, one big difference is the media attention. I mean, obviously, you have, you know, I'm accustomed to maybe 2 or 3 or 4 beat writers in the locker room, and not 24, you know, so there's a lot of exposure, but with that, you know, there's a nice platform to be able to tell your story, and there's a lot of accountability. So I think that's kind of a special thing. If you can do it here, you can do it anywhere, so the song says, you know.
I think there's some truth there.
Yeah.
2-2 to Donald. He struck him out. 7 strikeouts for R.A. Dickey.
Do you feel pressure at all?
And the only pressure I ever feel is the pressure I put on myself. So I don't consider this being a huge media market to add to any pressure out there. You know, every time you take the mound, things can go poorly or things can go well, and it's just the nature of the beast. So there's no added pressure for me as far as being in New York.
It goes down swinging on the knuckleball by Dickey for the first down.
There was a certain mystique about the knuckleball. So what can you tell us about that? What's the secret to it?
Oh, I don't know if there's any secrets. I think it's just hard work. You know, I mean, it's taken me a long time to be able to throw it the way I want to throw it. I started in 2005, and it's 2010 now, and I'm just now starting to kind of be real confident with some of the nuances that come with having a real peculiar pitch and having to throw it consistently in the strike zone. So it's there's no secret, you know. I think just having a good grip and being able to repeat your mechanics has been the key to success for me this year.
Who are you closest to in the clubhouse?
I'd say probably Mike Pelfrey. He and I spent a lot of time together and are somewhat kindred spirits. You know, I think the great thing about our clubhouse is that there's such a great culture in there. You know, there's great chemistry because everybody gets along with everybody, and although you have a lot of ethnic backgrounds represented in the framework of a very small space and you can't choose your friends 6 months of the year, we all get along pretty well.
Swing and a miss, and Dickey strikes out Conklin. An appreciative Citi Field crowd sends R.A. Dickey out to the dugout.
If you weren't a baseball player, what would you be doing?
I think I'd be a writer probably, or an English teacher, or you know, something that has to do with, you know, philosophy, or I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. It changes. It changes. Maybe teach and coach. But I have some plans outside of baseball, maybe to write.
Well, thank you so much for joining us
Yeah,
on
no
Mets
problem.
Weekly. We enjoy watching you out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming up on Mets Weekly, presented by FlatRate Moving.
He struck him out, and the ball game is over. And at 7 minutes to midnight, the goose egg sweep is complete.
Home cooking has been good for the Mets, but can anyone figure out why? We'll try.
I don't know if you hear my voice, it's hoarse. It's that way because I was at last night's game and I was supporting Manuel.
And a special look at the first 3 months of David Wright's season.
I think he made some adjustments with 2 strikes and begin to put some balls in play.